Joyce, read your article last week on CIMB Holdings CEO, Tengku Zafrul. He made a slew of changes in the banking group itself. He cut some costs. He had this MSS mutual separation scheme whereby they laid off about 3,000 over applications in the region. So how does this benefit CIMB Group?
Okay, he came in as Group CEO officially in February last year. He was already acting in September 2014. The 3,000 plus is MSS applications were from Malaysia and Indonesia. The region itself, there were more cuts. I mean, like in Australia, they closed down the thing there and their office there and things like that. So that one is separate from the 3,000 plus. So overall, I think what he has done, he has brought down the cost because CIMB is usually very high cost. I think when he came in, he recognized that CIMB is one of the higher banking groups with this cost to income ratio very high. So he has cut that down to, I think, 2015. 10.3% and has come. Sorry, cost to income ratio has come down 55.6%.
So I know that you followed him since he was in Kenanga, and then he went to Maybank, and now he's with CIMB Bank, right? So how do you feel about this guy?
Oh, he's very approachable. I think to journalists, everyone, not just journalists. I think the work side, he's quite a people-oriented person. So people always say that his PR very good. So he is more, I guess, more extrovert kind of guy. So he is, I think leadership-wise as well, if you speak to people who have worked with him and who are working with him, a lot of them say that he's very based on that. I think I spoke to an ex-Maybanker, not ex-Maybanker, I mean he is still in Maybank. He's a head of a business unit there and he worked with Zafrul when Zafrul was Maybank CEO then. He said that a lot of them were sad when he left for CIMB. So it depends on how you look at it.
So he formed a new team in CIMB Group Holdings Berhad, right? And more than 50% of them actually they are new people. So did he share with you any kind of challenges when he formed the new group in this banking?
Yeah, I think when he first came in, a lot of people were like, Nazir is leaving. He's not leaving, but he's gone up to be the chairman, and a lot of his key lieutenants left the executive position in CIMB. Some of them stayed on to advise, but they have left the day-to-day operations already. So a lot of people were like skeptical, whether or not Zafrul can keep the group intact and continue on with what he has planned. But I think right now he shared with us that he's very happy that he's managed to build the team that he believes is the right mix, and they seem to be executing it. His plans and the team, what they plan to do, seem to be executing it well. So I think he's happy with regards to that.
So last February, when he became the CEO of the company, right? He actually detailed T18 targets. Actually, it's in their website itself. But ROE itself actually dropped to 7% last year, so it dropped. But their target is to achieve a much more higher target by 2018. Do you think it's achievable if you look at the trend?
Okay, I think Zafrul was very candid with us at the interview, and he shared that when it comes, because income growth, he feels income growth is a problem, is a worry across the board in the industry right now. So he's not sure whether or not income growth can come in. So one of the T18 targets is for ROE to be 15% by 2018, and he acknowledged that he's not sure whether or not that can be achieved. So they might have to relook at that later on. But with the other targets, I think he believes they're on track with the cost to income ratio of below 50% and the capital ratio, CET1 ratio to be above 11%. He believes that they're on track. But ROE, they might have to relook at that.
I see. Yeah. So last year we saw fewer deals, fewer IPO, fewer companies raising funds, fewer M&A. So that's probably one of the reasons why we saw CIMB moving towards consumer banking from investment banking. But other than that, why was the shift?
Okay, I don't think they are moving, but I think one of the T18 targets is for the income of consumer banking to be at least 60% income contribution, right? So they are very strong in investment banking, but I think recently the pipeline for investment banking deals has dried up. So because of that, I think the investment banking business earnings has shrunk, and because of that, I guess the income from the consumer side seems to be growing. If you look at it from that point of view, it looks to be growing. So because of that, perhaps the consumer banking segment is contributing more. That could be a factor. But I think they themselves have announced that they want consumer banking to be 60% in 2018.
So following the cost-cutting measures that they say they are going to continue from last year, so what's the theme for this year? What are they going to do more
this year?
to help the company?
Okay, I think Zafrul shared with us that cost optimization will still be a theme this year. On top of that, they want to divest non-core assets. I think that's another theme that they're looking at this year. Recently, they just sold their insurance stake in Indonesia. So we asked, yes, and so no, they sold their stake in CIMB Sun Life Insurance in Indonesia. So from that, I think you can see that's one part already. So we asked banking analysts what are the other non-core assets, and they pointed out that CIMB has a 20% stake in a Chinese bank in China, Bank of Yingkou, and also banking analysts think that is potential non-core, and also there is also Touch and Go. They actually have the
These are
Touch and Go
possibilities that
business.
they might
Yeah. So that's one of the things that could be the theme moving forward to bring them, because I think the revenue, the top line is still, they're not sure how much that can grow. So yeah.
For more on the stories, pick up a copy of The Edge Weekly at all good newsstands.